Hello and welcome to my weekly reading update. This week I'm going to talk about 4 really interesting works, the first 2 of which are actually both by Mary Robinette Kowal. Kind of a coincidence that I read 2 of her works this week, but I'm quite pleased about it. She's a great speculative fiction writer. First, I'll talk about Forest of Memory, a novella by Mary Robinette Kowal. And in this world, human experience is filtered through technological aids. People have personal AIs, and so their experiences are recorded, what they see, what they hear, and people can just go back and relive their memories from recordings in their personal AI. Now, our main character is Katya, and she's actually taken off the grid. No AI, no technology, and she goes missing in action in a forest, and this story tells about her time away from the grid. And she was actually contacted by a buyer of her story. There's no way to authenticate what happened to her because there is no recording of it. No AI verified anything. But a mysterious buyer wants to know her story, and so this is structured in that Katya tells the story of what happened to her. And how she went off the grid is that she's traveling through the forest, and suddenly she gets cut out, and it's by a man who comes out of the trees, and he is hunting / tranquilizing deer. It's all very hush-hush mystery, and he kidnaps Katya, keeps her in the forest because she doesn't want it to be broadcast that to the authorities that he is there, and so she is living as a victim of his work, his mission in the forest. It's an interesting story, but I did feel a very large disconnect between some implicit promises that were made at the beginning of the story and then the actual fulfillment, but really non-fulfillment of those promises at the end of the storytelling. And because of this large disconnect, I mostly felt disappointment at the end of this. I think this is my least favorite of Mary Robinette Kowal's works. And so I feel like there's an issue between promise and fulfillment in this. But I did really like the novel I read by Mary Robinette Kowal, Ghost Talkers. This is a historical fantasy that I adored. It is so very good. This is a historical fantasy set during World War I. And in here, British soldiers are actually conditioned to report in at death before they go beyond the veil. And they report into mediums in the Spirit Corps, which is a spiritualist organization within military intelligence. Our main characters are Ginger, who's a young American. She's working as a medium in the Spirit Corps, and her fiance, Ben, he is an officer in military intelligence. And when Ben is away on a mission, Ginger finds the presence of a traitor and that the German war effort have discovered the existence of the Spirit Corps and are targeting the Spirit Corps. This is World War I. There was a lot of sexism, and in this, Ginger's superiors, being so very sexist, don't believe Ginger when she talks about what she's discovered. And so Ginger has a very dangerous task of finding a traitor in their midst and then also trying to fight off the German war effort to discover where the Spirit Corps is and to protect her and the other mediums, etc. It's a really great book. I tore through this in a day, and I had major feels about it, so many feels. Not a huge fan of romance in literature, but the relationship at the core of this book is amazing, beautiful, touching. I really, really like this. Also, this book has serious Downton Abbey vibes, so that fills that little part of my heart. I have a little niche for Downton Abbey and Ghost Talkers. They're very similar. I really, really enjoyed it. I have a lot of feelings, just really positive, wonderful feelings about this book. I also, interestingly enough, this week read an issue of a literary magazine. It's a new one called Afya, and the issue is called Rebirth, and the inaugural issue is fantastic. Such a great way to start the new magazine. A little background on Afya, or just really what it's about, is that it's a quarterly speculative fiction literary magazine, and it features stories by and about people of the African diaspora. And for some reason, Black speculative fiction is still very rare. It's not published very much. And so this magazine, this whole effort and this work is so unique and very much needed. And it's fantastic. All of the stories in this issue are damn good. They are haunting and thought-provoking, beautifully written, smash hit. I enjoyed it so much. A really, really, really great literary magazine that I'm really happy to see that is on the scene. And then lastly, I want to talk about one more work, and it is, this book is a collection of comics by Sarah Anderson. It's called Adulthood is a Myth. And Sarah Anderson is one of my favorite comic artists, and so I was really pleased to see her with published work. And this is so wonderful. It's so real, and it resonates so hard with my perception of young adulthood in the 21st century. To kind of give you a sense of the tone and maybe the vibe of this book and these comics, I'm going to read the back cover of this. Are you a special snowflake? Do you enjoy networking to advance your career? Is adulthood an exciting new challenge for which you feel fully prepared? Ugh, please go away. This book is for the rest of us. These comics document the wasting of entire beautiful weekends on the internet, the unbearable agony of holding hands on the street with a gorgeous guy, dreaming all day of getting home and back into pajamas, and wondering when exactly this adulthood thing begins. In other words, the horrors and awkwardness of young modern life, which is delightful. I think a lot of people who are similar to me have called this book their spirit animal. It really, really resonates with a lot of young people these days. The comics are so wonderful. They're a delight, they're funny, they are real, and I really, really enjoyed this collection. And so yeah, great reading week. Hope you had a good reading week too. Till next time, my lovelies.